How can the Mavericks have a top 5 defense next season? And also trivia coming up next on the DLLS Mavs show. Welcome to the DLLS Mavs show on a Thursday. I am Tim Cato. I am the Mavs beat writer for the DLLS Mavs show. How many more times can I say the DLLS Mavs show?
It's the DLLS Mavs podcast, Tim.
I call it a show.
It is literally called the DLLS Mavs podcast.
Coming up on this episode of the DLLS Mavs show, we've got Bobby Carella, our Mavs analyst.
Great to be here on the DLLS Mavs podcast with you, Tim.
We've got Tanner running the show.
Hello.
We got Mark Stein calling in here in a little bit, a couple segments. Not for a Steinline, for a Trivia Thursday.
That's right.
That's right. You got some bangers lined up?
Yep.
You got some banger questions?
I dove deep into Basketball Reference archives, and I have emerged armed
They call
with
it Stathead.
questions that are going to absolutely destroy you guys.
Yeah, you consider yourself a bit of a stat head?
I am a stat head enjoyer. And
You got some
stat
stats
head,
up in that head of yours?
I got so many. It's full of them.
Well, we're also going to talk about threes and how many the Mavs shoot and whether it's enough. Little projection. I've done a little bit of writing and projection based off that. But first, we're going to talk about defense, which is a pretty important thing. It wins championships.
Mm-hmm.
And top 5 specifically is what we're focusing in on. I think we're both of the belief that Dallas will have a better defense than offense next, and that a lot of their winning is going to be empowered by their defensive work. But as we have questions about the offense, I think it's fair to look at the defense and have expectations of it being an elite unit, because that is going to be the thing that powers Dallas to winning basketball games. And so the question is how elite, and the question is, can they be top 5? Because top 5 is the line of demarcation when it comes to elite. You know, like a top 10 defense is good to have, but if your defense is powering you to win basketball games more so than your offense, you'd really love, if you're a contender, to have a top 5 defense, of a top 5 unit out there. So I just want to start with you, Bobby. What would it look like? What is the case for Dallas having a top 5 defense? And we can talk the qualifiers. We're not doing full optimism. The rose-colored glasses have been left at home.
Indeed.
We're back to a qualification show.
Okay.
So we can talk about why they might not be. But I want to start still optimistically, still with a little bit of an optimism hangover from yesterday. What would make Dallas a top 5 defense next season?
The case for, I feel like, honestly, is pretty simple. It's that they are going, this is in the optimistic scenario, okay? They're going to have the best interior presence in the league. At any given moment, there will be 2 or 3 guys on the floor, probably usually 3, that will send that weak stuff to the fan sitting over there in the 4th row.
What'd you point at Tanner?
I was pointing at the building across the way. I would never ever suggest that I'm blocking Tanner or that Tanner is only a fan. Tanner's on the court.
Are you doxing the location?
No, I'm not.
Are you pointing at where the shot is going to be thrown to?
He's west
in
southwest
the Victory,
of us.
because we are in the Victory Park neighborhood.
Well, okay, you just doxed us, but the case for is that the Mavs are going to control the restricted area and control, that inside of like 5 to 8 feet from the basket better than any other team in the league can. And that all of that length will also be disruptive for guys that try and penetrate and then kick it out to a shooter. You're going to have a lot of limbs, a lot of arms, not just impeding you from getting to the basket, but also making life difficult if you're trying to kick out and find people. So I think that if you view basketball as a drive and kick game, what happens if the threat of a drive is never really that much of a threat? You just don't have to worry about that initial. We've talked about like that initial thrust, right? That first thing. The Mavs will never, ever have to worry about that, ever. And then from there, over the course of 82 games, if you know that you can just sit on the opponent's fastball and just blast it, so they're going to have to mix it up a lot. From there, over the course of an 82-game season, you develop counters, you develop systems and things like that that can, you can handle the changeup, handle the curveball, handle the slider, and all that stuff. I think having one really, 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 really important strength, one NBA skill in a player is important. Having one thing you can fall back on as a defense is also really important. And so I think from that vantage point, I could see it.
Got a question for you.
Okay.
What is the correlation between an NBA defense and an NBA offense?
If you get stops on defense, it makes it a whole lot easier to score. And that could be a turnover. That could be a block shot. That could be a rebound. That could be a dead ball. Whatever it is so much easier to score whenever you are coming off a stop than whenever you're bringing the ball out from under your own basket.
And what's interesting about this is there was a team last season, the Orlando Magic, who had the 4th worst offense and the 2nd best defense. I do think that there tends to be a correlation that it is hard to have a top 5 defense, like a truly elite unit, if you are not, if you're a bottom 10 offense, if you're missing that many shots. Dallas used to have a correlation between, they were a very good defense when they're set in the half court. They were anytime after made shots on offense coming back. And some of this was Luka. Actually, a lot of this was Luka and how he struggled to get back sometimes. But clearly Orlando showed that you don't have to always, be an amazing offense, and you can still go back and get set. Weirdly enough, and we're talking about this next segment, Dallas is not going to take a lot of threes. So there's actually going to be, even if their offense isn't good, they're not going to have as many missed shots just because they're probably going to take the fewest threes in the entire NBA. And threes, obviously, you miss more of them, even if you make more, by the point value. I would say what Dallas needs, in the case that they are a top 5 defense, is 55, 60 games from Anthony Davis for starters. He is the best defender on the team. And I do think it matters to have all NBA or all NBA adjacent type players, like those guys that go from good to great. You can't just recreate an all NBA or all defense level player in the aggregate, Moneyball style. I do think that that level of excellence does help empower everything you do on that end. I think it's going to be, I think Cooper Flagg is going to be really important to it, because I really like what Dallas has in the backcourt. But I think they need a high minutes getter who is going to be a splashy player on the perimeter, somebody who can switch and roam and flex and just make plays. And when you look at Klay Thompson, you look at D'Angelo Russell, the very possible top 2 starters, 1 and 2 starters. You're not going to be getting that from those 2 guys. So I think for Dallas's defense to go far, some of it is going to come down to how good Cooper Flagg is going to be, which is a weird thing because it feels like they're going into next year focusing on his offense, asking him to focus on being a scorer. And I think if you put him in a setting where he was just asked to be the best defender possible next season and also do all the offensive things, but this is not your focus. Maybe there would be a different outlook, but I don't know. I'm still kind of talking it through.
Here's one other thing you didn't mention the first one, but you did bring up Orlando.
I did.
One thing the Mavs had in common with the Magic last season is that they were the number 1 and number 2 defense in the league as far as allowing the lowest volume of field goal attempts that are threes. So opponents took threes against the Magic and the Mavs last season at a lower rate than any other team in the league. Now, one massive difference, especially after the All-Star break between the Mavs and the Magic, is after the All-Star break, the Magic's defense was still good. The Mavs defense fell apart in large part because they didn't have a center, and also just like it's easier to play offense after a stop, it's also easier to play defense after you score. And without Kyrie, without Luka, obviously, AD missed a ton of time. The Mavs offense wasn't very good either. So they're basically always playing transition defense, and that makes it tough. But teams were getting to the basket against the Mavs a lot. they were shooting just so well at the rim. Granted, Gafford missed time, Lively missed a ton of time, and all of that stuff. But
they're giving up like 70 points in the paint, like on a
it was
basis.
it was unholy, and so why, okay, they didn't allow a lot of threes, but that's because opponents were like, I don't have to ever settle for a three. I can just drive and kick and drive, and it's a layup probably. Now, the Mavs will be able to handle that initial drive and kick, but can they handle all of those other things? I think even if they can't, optimistically, even if they're a bad scramble defense because they just have a lot of size and maybe some slow-footed guys relative to, rangier, more athletic teams, they still have the benefit of having that extra 4 or 5 inches of wingspan behind them that no other team does. Like, if Cooper Flagg is your 2, then he is like your 3rd different low man on the possession. By then, on most teams, that's dude is like 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Flagg is 6'8", 6'9". So like they might just be able to size their way to being okay against a scrambling defense. And I think that is what is really important, because if you just let teams take, even if you identify a bad shooter or multiple bad shooters that you're cool with letting them shoot, if you let them take 25 to 30 wide open threes a game, you're going to have to get really lucky over the course of a season to be an even above average defense, let alone top 5.
If you are playing a team that has a non-shooting 3, let's say Josh Hart.
Okay.
Who do you want guarding Josh Hart in a scenario like, let's take the Knicks.
Against the Knicks, you're probably putting your big man on him. Like, you're probably putting Gafford or AD, right?
And you
or
want,
Lively or whatever.
Honestly, it might be a situation where you want Cooper on Karl Anthony Towns.
Possibly. As long as he doesn't get in foul trouble.
Yeah.
Or PJ. PJ does pretty well against guys like that.
PJ would be a good option. Daniel Gafford would not be a good option. Derek Lively would be.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you would rather, AD is obviously an option here. AD prefers to be the roaming help defender, but
can't roam off Cat. You can off Hart.
Right. But Anthony Davis also, like, skill set wise matches up well. And then, you have Derek Lively as the roamer. That's not a bad option either.
Mm.
It's gonna be flexible. There's gonna be a lot of options.
But not every good team has a bad shooter anymore. That's the thing. Like, I mean, a couple years ago you could abandon Dort, but Dort didn't he shoot like 38%, 40% this year?
Yeah.
Granted, teams are still leaving him open to test him, but like it's
two playoffs ago, Dallas still left him.
Yeah,
open.
I mean, they left Giddey.
Not as aggressively
hard,
as Josh Giddey.
And I will say this, having watched Kid now for 4 years in Dallas, like,
yeah.
If your team has a bad shooter, the Mavs are probably like the best defense in the NBA. Like, they have one of the, if not the best system in the league, defending a team that has a lousy shooter, because that gives them so much help at the rim. That gives them the ability to be a little more aggressive on the perimeter. Like, they do take some more chances, and they're jumping lanes and forcing turnovers, and also, again, sending that weak stuff to not Tanner in the crowd. Like, they are elite if your team has one bad shooter. But against teams that can play 5 out and that can spread the floor and that are going to make these bigs defend in space, the Mavs have been horrible. I mean, even the year they went to the finals, 23-24, remember there was that stretch. They lost to the Celtics, the Pacers twice, and I don't remember the other team. I don't remember. That might have been the stretch where they got Max Strus. I don't remember what it is.
They lost to Cleveland. And that was Max Strus.
That was the worst day of my life.
They lost to the Sixers.
The Sixers, that's right. That was the Tyrese Maxey.
They beat the Raptors in there.
Yeah, they were getting their doors blown off by all these teams that were just spreading the floor against them, and it was like, man, I don't know if this can work. So,
by the way, that Sixers loss was when technically the Sixers started Mo Bamba, who is technically a stretch, but they mostly played Paul Reed.
Yeah.
Who is actually a stretch 5.
Kind of. He was spreading them out a little bit, yeah. And that game, it was Maxey and Tobias Harris was killing them. I think someone else had a good game for them. I don't remember who.
Well, I have the box score open.
Okay.
Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre.
Well, he had 21 points on 17 shots.
That's still good for Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
So anyway, I say all of that to say, I think if there's a proliferation of non-shooters, then the Mavs will easily by default be a top 5 defense. But what will really get them to top 5 level is if you can be consistently good regardless of does the opponent have 4 or 5 guys that can shoot.
Yeah.
They cannot be like a bottom 5 defense against 5-out teams. They have to be at least an average defense against 5-out teams. And if they can do that, then I think they can be and will be a top 5.
That makes sense to me. Coming up next, we're going to talk about how many threes Dallas may or may not shoot next season. Then trivia after that. Stay with us. Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Their products are designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions, whether you're on land or water, or some other secret third material, space,
in
area.
the air.
In the air. In plasma? Is that the other one? That is the other one.
I would just continue on the Rugged Road.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in plasma. That doesn't sound like a good fun time. Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every adventure. One of the most unique features, Rugged Road coolers, their ability to always float upright and on land, or more specifically in water. So you're never going to lose a drink. And unlike other heavy-duty coolers, Rugged Road coolers are incredibly light. They're very easy to transport on any trip to any terrain. So gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers, reliable, durable, built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com. Use code DLLS for 10% off.
Shopping for stuff that you're going to use in your home can be the absolute worst. It is such a beating to go to these stores because half the time you don't know what you're looking for. So you're going to ask for help. And half the time the people that are helping you, these stores are huge. They work in like 25 different sections and they go on a rotation. So flooring is not the only thing that they do. But our friends at Empire Today,
doing pool inflatables.
They can make that claim. Flooring is all Empire Today does. They're going to get you the right stuff at the right price. And if you use Empire Today, well, hey, they can come to your home, bring the showroom to you, not vice versa. So you can see what that stuff is going to look like in your lighting, in your decor. And if you work with them, they can schedule an installation as soon as the next day. So what the heck are you waiting for? Schedule a free and home estimate today because some things are just better at home. But DLLS listeners can receive a $350 discount with promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DLLS for full details.
Welcome back to the DLLS Mavs show or podcast.
Was there music during that break? There was? Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going to talk about three-pointers. Three-pointers, a very important thing. In the
it is a
NBA.
very important thing.
Yeah.
I would say it's one of the two most important shots.
One of the two? What's the other one?
Twos.
What about ones?
Not a shot.
So I calculated how many threes Dallas took, all the Dallas players last season took on a per-minute basis. And then when you roughly sketch out a possible rotation, which is, we've talked about this before. We talked about this a couple months ago when I was trying to sketch out their rotation post-lottery, post-Cooper, pre-D'Angelo Russell. But there's a scenario where it does make sense that point guard minutes are split between D'Angelo and we're putting Brandon Williams in for now. Let's say that's a 30-18 split. Sound about right?
Sure.
Klay Thompson, Najee, 24 minutes apiece at the 2. At the 3 and the 4, you've got 34 minutes to Anthony Davis, 30 minutes to PJ Washington, 30 minutes to Cooper Flagg. That all sound about right? And then center is 24-24 or whatever you want to split.
That's if everyone is healthy.
That's if everybody's
blah,
healthy.
Blah, blah.
Yeah. It still is a very packed rotation. And, it doesn't quite always work like this. There's almost always a player injured. But let's just say that's the rotation. So on a per-minute basis, how many threes these players took last season, and this is not perfect science because this is just gonna change. Like context depends on how much you shoot. If Najee's playing point guard, he's not gonna be shooting as many threes because he's not gonna be spotting up as much. But this is just a very rough way to sketch it out. Based off that, Dallas would shoot 31 times per game next season. It'd be the lowest in the league. Or last season, it would have been the lowest in the league.
Okay.
The lowest last season was Denver at 31.9.
Okay.
So it's a small.
And they played. I mean, Jokic isn't shooting a lot. Aaron Gordon's not shooting a lot. Christian Brown not necessarily shooting a lot. Even MPJ taking a lot of long twos. So it makes sense.
Another team, the second fewest threes taken by a team was New York. And we talked about this briefly yesterday. But one point I wanted to make.
That is surprising.
It's surprising, but it's also interesting because it's not a team that has bad spacing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the best spacing in the NBA, maybe. Josh Hart affects it, but Karl Anthony Towns gives you so much. And he played mostly the 5 last season. Like Mitchell Robinson wasn't available until late in the year.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a difference between high volume shooting teams that take a lot of threes. That doesn't necessarily mean, like, if you don't take a lot of threes, you can still have a good offense. You can still have good spacing. New York took their very good spacing and they drove into it. They found pull-up twos. They found rim shots. Denver and New York were both top 5. They're first and fourth. Denver was first. New York was fourth in percentage of shots taken directly at the rim.
Okay.
And they did that, and they did that with Denver. They have a cheat code of a passer. They have somebody who, like, kind of uses threes and the threat of open threes to create layups. Is that a fair description of Jokic?
Yeah, and they also have really, really, really good cutters on that team too.
Yes. And New York has very good spacing that they use to get to the rim.
Yep.
Rather than they use to shoot threes. Is Dallas capable of not shooting a lot of threes, not really having great spacing, and still being a paint dominant team? It's a hard question to answer.
Well, yeah, that is a really hard question to answer just like off the rip, but here's why I don't really think so. So there are two kinds of threes, right? There's catch and shoots, and then there's pull-up threes. Generally speaking, really, really good players are in part really good because they can shoot from 28 feet. Like, you think of guys like, obviously, Kyrie, Luka, Tatum. How about Tyrese Halliburton? Donovan Mitchell's pulling up from anywhere. Shea doesn't really need to because he is so good at getting to the rim, but he also will if you let him, guys like that. Now, obviously, Kyrie's going to miss a lot of time this season, and so the players that will be taking those face-up, pull-up from 28 feet shots are like D'Lo and maybe Brandon Williams, and that's it. And I think teams are always going to be fine allowing those. What makes that such a dangerous shot for the great players is because they make a couple of those, you're going to start panicking. You're either going to double them, which leaves someone else open for a catch and shoot, or you're going to crowd their space, and then they hit you with a little hezzy pull-up, Jimbo, spinorama, or they just drive right past you and get to the rim. So without an offensive player that can, from 30 feet away, be a threat with the ball in their hands, it's going to be really tough to generate a lot of clean pull-ups, which is also going to make it tougher to bend the defense at your will. I think the Mavs can have a lot of interior stuff through post-ups and by way of elbow ISOs and handoffs and things like that to sort of manufacture shots near the rim. But I think there's a chance that they lead the league in volume of shots taken from between 3 to 15 feet. I think they're going to take a lot of little floaters and turnarounds and baby hooks and, fallaways and things like that. I think they're going to...
That's what Denver does too.
Yeah, now Jokic makes 60% of them or something.
Yeah, he's literally the biggest cheat code to exist since, I think, Steph.
And Jamal Murray had a lousy year for a lot of last year, but he's very good at those shots as well.
Yeah.
And they just got Bruce Brown, who's the floater king, much like Najee is. So the Mavs can be really good at making those shots, but unless you get a healthy dose like Denver did, they led the league in layups and dunks or whatever. I don't know that the Mavs will be top 10 in that. So unless you get a lot of those or make a lot of threes, it's really hard to have a great offense because so many of your shots are generally hard to make, and you're not getting a lot of those ones that are easier to make.
Got some more stats for you. So all of the shots Dallas took last season, 36% of them were threes last year. That was the sixth lowest figure. That was for the entire season. That included pre-trade. That included Luka. With Luka, it was 43, 44%, a very high number. Without Luka, all the minutes without Luka of the Mavericks last season, I believe it was 34%. The low number. So you might think that the solution, the hack, is just to play Anthony Davis at center. Not small ball, obviously, but you play him as the lone big, and all of a sudden that's going to just going to boost the number of threes that you're taking because you're taking away a Lively or a Gafford or last season a Kai Jones or a Moses Brown, and all of a sudden the offense is just free flowing. But that actually dropped the number of threes taken to 31%. So super small sample size. Anthony Davis played 9 games. We're about to get even smaller sample size. So take this all with a grain of salt. We just didn't see the team play a lot last year. But I did find one thing very interesting, and it checks. It makes sense to me. When Anthony Davis was paired with Daniel Gafford, the number of threes Dallas took in those lineups was 23% of their shots. That is the lowest figure you're probably going to find.
Very low.
You would have to search lineup by lineup by lineup for hours to find a lower number than that.
Can I ask you a question about that? So,
like 4 of your 5 shots are twos. It just doesn't happen in the modern NBA.
I'm not in like a argumentative or condescending way, but I'm envisioning people in the comments, people in the chat. I'm reading comments in the chat right now, obviously, but like people in the comments watching this later that are like, why is taking so many twos and not a lot of threes? Like we're talking about as if it's inherently bad.
Should I give the other side of the stat and then explain why?
Yes.
The other side of the stat is that when Davis was paired with Derek Lively, 41% of their shots were threes.
Oh my God, that's a huge difference.
And so Derek Lively being on the floor with Anthony Davis had more of an effect than Anthony Davis, just playing center by himself, which really stood out to me. I think the modern NBA, so why this matters, to your point, I think the modern NBA is a push-pull. Offenses are a push-pull. You shoot threes and you pull defenses out, and the more you pull them out, the less opponents there are at the rim, and then you go and you score layups. You score at the rim. And then when you're scoring too well at the rim, defenses collapse, and they come in and they pack the paint, and they leave your shooters open. And that's when you reset and you start spraying the ball out and you take shots. Most modern NBA defenses are designed, they want opponents to take mid-range shots. That's not to say that mid-range shots are all bad, obviously. We've been over this debate a billion times. I don't know if everybody has. There are players that are very good at mid-range shots that should take them, that do take them, and a lot of them go in. However, it is not, if you are mostly made up of taking mid-range shots, you're going to have an offensive rating similar to teams in 2008 or 2013 when the entire league was based or set up in that way, taking mid-range shots. And there's a reason that over the past 5 years, over the past 10 years, the offensive rating in the league has risen year over year over year. It is more efficient to use that push-pull, to use the threat of the outside to score inside, the threat of the inside to score outside. And the more you set up your offense around 15-footers, 18-footers, unless you're Jokic, unless you're Dirk Nowitzki, you are just limiting the ceiling of the offense.
So last season in the league, these are actually really round numbers, which makes this really easy to do. Last season in the league average from three-point land was 36.0%, which is 1.08 points per shot, right? If you take 100 threes, you're going to make 36 of them, and that is 108 points. On long mid-range shots, so that's from 16 feet out to the three-point line, the league average was exactly 40%. Exactly 40%, which is 0.8 points per shot. You take 100 long twos, you're going to score 80 points. So if you take, and it's not just as simple as, well, take one step back, then dummy, but it's the way that you create the shots that really matters more than just the outcome of it. But, by literally taking 1 or 2 steps backward, you're scoring an extra 28 points over the course of a game, and that matters a lot. Now, it's not that drastic. The Mavs aren't going to take 100 threes a game. We're talking about the difference in AD's case, the difference between over the course of a game, 20 to 40 threes or 23 to 41 threes or whatever. And it's really just that one lineup, which is the difference between 8 or 14. You know what I mean? It's not that much, but over the course of a game, it is a lot. And over the course of 82 games, it's even more. So it is really important to be able to knock down those shots, because even if you're only taking 30 of them, if you shoot 33% on those 30 shots, that's 30 points. If you shoot 36% on those 30 shots, that's closer to 31 points or 32 points. How many games did the Mavs lose by 1 or 2 or 3 points last year? All of these things matter a whole lot.
And I think the reason the offense is so much better with Lively is just his passing. He elevates an offense. He elevates a defense. We talked about this yesterday. But I think he elevates an offense because he always knows where the next pass should be going. He makes it instantly, quickly, and in a way that is not sleek or sexy or always stands out. It just is the right play. And so I think he remains so important next season having Lively is just going to, make the offense run smoother. I think he's really important. I think he really matters. People talk about his offensive impact. Oh, we haven't seen him do it without Luka. I think we have. I think I've seen plenty from him that I think he is an offense elevator, and he will make the team better, if he's out there. And I think that shows in, a team, even though those lineups, in super small sample size, but those lineups last season were not, just full of three-point shooting up and down. No lineup was to end the year. But when Anthony Davis and Derek Lively were on the court together, Dallas still generated three-point shots. I think that matters, and I think it's a testament to, having a dynamic.
Played, like 40 minutes together or something?
Literally, yeah. But it matches the eye test. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
So.
Real quick, Shahid said about layups. So last season, the league in the restricted area, so inside 3 feet from the rim, shot a couple ticks under 70%, which is 1.4 points per shot. Now, obviously, layups and dunks, like that's the thing you want more than any other shot. The conventional wisdom, at least nowadays, is the easiest ways to create the easiest shots is by extending the defense, stretching them out, putting a guy in the corners, putting guys on the wing or whatever, drawing their bigs away from the basket so that it just becomes 5 games of one-on-one, essentially. If you beat your man, you go all the way to the rim. So it's not a matter of like take threes, not layups. It's the easiest way. A lot of people view it as the easiest way to get layups is by being able to knock down a lot of threes. It's like, think about it as like you're not running the ball to set up the pass in the NFL anymore. You're passing the ball to set up the run. You are spraying it around. All of a sudden, their safety's got to drop back, so they're only putting 7 guys in the box or 6 guys in the box instead of 8. Now it's easier to run against a 4-man front or something with one tiny quick linebacker in there as opposed to 3-4 with the giant nose tackle. I don't know anything about football.
On that note, we're going to take a next break, and then we're going to come back.
Vince Wilfork in there just erasing.
Man, I forgot about Vince Wilfork. Patriot?
Patriots legend.
Yeah. We're going to take a break now. We're coming back with some trivia. But first, I'm going to tell you about becoming a diehard. And really, the reason to do it is to read the writing from me. The article we just talked about, it's up on the site. It's how many threes will the Mavericks shoot next season, and is it enough? That's where I first published some of these numbers. Often, stuff that I write, we end up talking about on the site, but not all of it, not the entire article, not every single thing that gets published ends up on the YouTube feed. And so if you want more numbers like this, if you are enjoying this show, you may, in fact, enjoy reading a similar type of conversation, a similar type of content happening here on alldlls.com. We've got Stars and Cowboys and Rangers coverage. I'm just taking a look right now. Sean Shapiro, the case for Casey DeSmith to make 35 starts. Do you think it's a good case?
I think it was a compelling case.
Okay.
Kind of the upshot is, generally speaking, even if your goalie is incredible, the more games your goalie plays in the regular season, the more likely they are to tail off by the end of the regular season and into the playoffs because they're just so dang tired.
That is a compelling case. I will be absolutely reading this article later today, and I'm not even like a huge hockey guy, but I like reading about sports, and I like reading smart people write about sports. So Sean Shapiro, we've got him on Stars. We've got Clarence Hill, who has written, let me count, 7,000 articles since getting out to training camp.
That's been a lot.
And we've got Jeff Wilson on Rangers, and he's got Jock Peterson, one improbable swing and a Texas Rangers win, based off.
He's had like a few hits these last few games. It's actually pretty impressive to see. Jock Peterson is
lot of writing,
joining the MLB.
A lot of writing. alldlls.com/diehard. Get full access to all of it.
I don't think that there is a correct Pokemon analogy for this, for softening up the defense to get to the rim. I really don't think so. I guess the only thing would be like if you use Toxic on everything and then bring in a Scarf Hexer or something, but that's kind of opposite, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. Yeah, but I didn't.
We got the Stein line.
Do we have the Stein line?
Hi, guys.
And we've got Tanner.
We got Hello. Tanner Cam.
Oh, man, I am handing the reins over to Bobby, who's going to be our MC, our host for a little trivia hour that Stein is calling into from an undisclosed location.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting.
It will be disclosed tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. All right. So here's how we're going to do this.
And hello, Tanner.
Hi.
Hello.
I've been here.
Is this your on-camera debut, Tanner?
No. We did the night that Kyrie got hurt. We did a whole segment about things that make us happy.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
Well,
welcome.
Just
Welcome
trying
back.
to be happy, and yeah,
it was much needed. All right. So
Did you guys notice? Did you guys notice the way Tanner scoffed when you suggested this was his first time on camera? Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, that's on me.
Don't you know who I am?
I was at the arena. But anyway, sorry. We should.
So I scoured the Basketball Reference and StatHead archives, and I did some deep diving, and I came up with 5, I think, pretty tough questions. I feel really good about being able to stump y'all. No cheating, Tim Cato.
Never.
So definitely, y'all feel free to work these out between you before you submit your formal guesses. But I got a couple list ones and a couple. Yeah, you can work as a team if you want, sure. So yesterday, here's question number 1. Yesterday, we were talking about Cooper Flagg's season averages, right? What do you think he'll average? Now, we said he might average 15 points a game. If he does average at least 15 points a game, he will become the 7th Mavericks rookie ever to average at least 15 points per game their rookie season. Can you name the other 6 to do it?
Does it have to be qualified? Like they had to qualify? Like just hypothetically speaking, Jim Jackson, I'm guessing, scored 15 a game, but he only played, 20 games after his
because I did not do by qualified leaders. So Jim Jackson is one.
Jim Jackson and Jamal Mashburn are 2 of them.
That is correct and correct. Tanner, you what'd you say? You said something.
Maybe I misheard the question, but wouldn't Luka be an obvious?
Luka is one of them, yeah. So that's 3 out of the 6.
Mark Aguirre and Rolando Blackman.
Mark Aguirre, yes, but not Rolando Blackman.
Josh Howard?
What?
No.
That was going to be my guess.
No, you're right. No. He had a slow. He was a 3D player.
How many are we up to? How many are we up to?
Okay.
You're missing
2 more?
Ooh.
1, I'll say this. 1 played with Dirk and 1 did not.
Dennis Smith Jr.?
Dennis Smith Jr. is 1.
Yeah.
That is number 5.
Wow. I would not have guessed. I don't remember him scoring 15 a game, so that's my bad.
It wasn't the prettiest.
It wasn't efficient, but
he did his best, all right? No Dennis slander.
Let's see.
Wow.
1 played Mark. It
wouldn't be Donaldson.
1 was a rookie the same year that.
No, Donaldson was not a hot.
Rolando
Donaldson was not a.
No.
Same year as Rolando?
Same year as Rolando.
That was the same year as Aguirre. There was another 15-point scorer on that team as a rookie.
Was, if you can believe it.
Oh man, Dale Ellis.
No.
This one is just not clicking with me at
I
all.
did not. I had zero confidence on one. All right, 1981-82, a Mavs rookie, not named Rolando Blackman, who scored 15 a game. Are you kidding me right now?
Scored more than 15 too. He holds the franchise record for points per game by a rookie.
This is
what year
awful.
Again?
81-82.
Terrible.
All right, we're out of time.
This is
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
the Midnight Creeper, Jay Vincent.
Oh, I'm ashamed of myself. I should be off the show right now. I should be off the show. I should be banned.
All right, we got a couple Najee Marshall themed questions here, all right?
Okay.
So, last season, Najee Marshall recorded career highs in points, 38, assists, 10, and rebounds in a game, all with the Mavs, right? So, like, his single game career highs in points, assists, and rebounds all came this season. What is his career high in rebounds in a game?
13.
12. 14.
17.
15.
Tanner got it.
17.
17 on the money.
Awesome. I was going to say 18, then I bumped it down 1.
So
Smart man.
That 17 is important because that leads us to the next question. And that night, Najee finished with 29 points, 17 rebounds, and 2 steals. 29, 17, and 2. Only 4 other Mavericks ever have compiled that stat line in a game. Name those players.
Luka.
Yes.
Dirk.
Josh
Yes.
Howard.
Josh Howard, no. That's a good guess, but no.
Let's see. 29, 17.
Roy Tarpley.
Roy Tarpley did it twice.
Great
Yes.
guess.
One more, right?
One more.
Would it have been Finn?
Mark Aguirre.
No. I will give you a hint. It's a deep cut.
Is it a recent deep cut?
I'm not giving you a hint. All right, I gave you a hint. Yeah, I just did. Yeah, that was my hint.
Let's see. 20.
What did you say,
Shrimp?
Stein? Detlef?
Oh, that's a great guess, but no.
Man, the deep cut.
29, 17, and 2.
Yeah.
Like Elton Brand.
No, that's a fantastic guess.
It is
but
not
no.
a bad. Yeah,
No,
it's
that's
not a bad.
that's a
guess.
really
Please,
good guess.
there's no way Damp went for 29, 17, and 2, is there?
He did not. He did not.
I think it usually took weeks for Eric Dampier to score 29 points.
All right,
Did Boban do
Okay,
it? Like,
okay.
Boban did
This
it.
is-
Oh, the
It-
Denver game.
It was the Boban
Oh,
game.
I was there.
Oh.
Yeah. I should have said it earlier. I was thinking.
It was the Boban game.
Man, that makes sense once you say it. Yeah.
All right, Mark, I'm glad that you called in for this one because this is a Mark Stein question. Okay.
These are all really good, and these are all. We got to do this every time. The whole staff has to participate. This is the way we do it.
So Mark obviously has the annual all lefty team. Now last season the Mavs had 0 lefties on their team, but the most lefties who have ever played a game for the Mavs in one season is 7. That was set in 2001-02, which is also the NBA record for most lefties ever to appear for one team in a season. Mark, did you know that?
I did not. 7. They had 7 in, not in the same game, just in the season.
In the season, yeah, because they made some trades that year. Can you name all 7 of those players from the 01-02
Van
Mavs?
Exel, Adrian Griffin, and LaFrentz are 3 of them.
Adrian Griffin, yes. Nick Van Exel, yes. And Rafe LaFrentz, yes.
Was
4
Dirk Nowitzki
more
a lefty?
lefties.
4 more lefties.
201-02? Man, you're killing me.
01-02.
God, 4 more.
I don't know that roster super well.
This was before Brandon Wright's time. Who was on that team?
See, I figured this was going to be like an Antoine Walker question. It's not.
Oh,
It's before his
102.
time.
I know.
Van
it's before him.
Exel, Rafe, Griff. Who am I leaving out?
Let's see.
Who's lefty
A
on
lot
that
of
squad?
Yeah, quite a few.
01. I mean, I don't even have half of them. 01-02. Is the chat getting them?
The chat is not even guessing.
Yeah.
Chat, I encourage you to guess.
01-02 lefties.
I
Come
will
on.
give you a hint. One of them
I can't even
was
believe
an
I
answer
need
to
hints.
a trivia question last week.
Bernard James wasn't in the 01-02.
I believe he was still in the military.
I can't even picture it. Man, if Dirk finds out I did so bad on this one, he's good because he would get all 7 in about 10 seconds.
All right, so one was an answer last week. One is an international player, and then 2 of them, their first name starts with the same letter. That's
An
Pavel
international lefty.
Podkolzin.
No, he wasn't lefty. Who? Why can't I see it? I got the first 3 so
the
easy.
guy who was the answer last week came over in the same trade that brought in Nick Van Exel and
Avery Johnson. Someone guessed
yes,
Avery.
Avery Johnson.
That was
Oh,
Mason
duh.
Moneyball. Said Avery.
This is terrible that I covered Avery as a
Oh, he
player
was the one
much
who was-
longer as a coach, and I'm not remembering his playing days. This is bad.
I
All right.
didn't. Yeah.
So we
All right,
still got 3 more, and who's the international lefty?
we're running
Give
out
me
of
a
time, so
country.
I'm
Just
going to have
give
to
us a-
spoil it.
Go ahead.
Spoil.
All right, number 1, Donnell Harvey.
Don't even know him.
Number
Oh
2,
my goodness.
Derek Martin. And number 3, Mark Stein. Wang Zhuzhu.
Wong Juju.
We've gotten none of those 3.
I am seriously. I'm suspended. I'm
And this is
I'm
the all
banning
lefty.
myself.
This is your wheelhouse, dude.
This is your beat
Dude,
in
I
multiple
mean,
ways.
Derek Martin, I would not have remembered his Mavs stint.
I've never
'cause
heard that name in my life.
I have not heard that name either.
You've not the UCLA lefty point guard. You guys don't remember Derek Martin from the?
Clearly, you
Great.
don't either, Mark. All right, last
No,
one.
I don't remember
last
his
one.
Mavs tenure.
Last question.
That season,
Wait.
01-02.
Wait. Shouldn't we just wait till after the break and do the last one after the break?
No,
do we
we
have
can
to
we can
squeeze
do
it
this
all in
one
one
pretty quickly.
segment?
Yeah, we need one.
Y'all
more.
are going to crush this one. I'm confident. That season, 01-02, was Dirk's first time making the All-NBA second team. Name the other 4 players who made the All-NBA second team.
Yeah, that's easy.
Weber?
I mean,
Chris Webber made it, yes.
Nice.
so that means Garnett and Duncan were first team?
Yeah.
No. Well, Duncan was.
Kevin Garnett?
Garnett was on the second team?
Let's see.
So now you need 2 guards.
Iverson was probably first team. So, not guessing Iverson.
He was not first
Kobe?
team.
Was it Iverson?
Kobe?
Iverson was on. Kobe made the first team. AI made the second team. So we're missing 1 guard.
1 guard. Would it have been Jason Kidd?
No, he was first team.
Would it have been obviously not Steve?
Gary Payton?
It was Gary Payton. Ding, ding,
Boom.
ding, 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 ding.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good teamwork right there.
I didn't redeem myself, man. Like I said, I don't remember Derek Martin's Mavs tenure, which is bad because I went to college around the same time as Derek Martin. But I mean, Wang Zhu and Donnell Harvey. I mean, I covered the. Come on, man. That's bad. That's really
Stein,
bad.
And they're all southpaws too,
Mark.
man.
There will
I will ask Nowitzki that question to see if he can get all 7.
Mark was so excited to come on the show for trivia. Now do you think he's regretting?
Yeah, we just
coming off.
Mark, there will be a
retreating in
chance
shame.
for redemption very soon.
I don't regret it. It's just exposing my age. It's just yet another reminder that my memory, which used to be such a strength, is now such a weakness.
Well, we're going to hit a break. Mark, thanks for calling in. We will do this again soon, and we will talk to you tomorrow. We'll figure out where the heck you are.
Tomorrow I'll have lots more to say and reveal tomorrow, I promise.
All right.
Beautiful.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
Be good, guys.
Bye, Mark.
See you, Mark. We're going to take our last break right now, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to draft best vacations. Coming up next. That's all I had.
A shout out to everyone that has signed up to become a diehard during our training camp sale. Clarence Hill is out there in Oxnard right now. Cowboys were off yesterday, but they got to practice today. They got to practice tomorrow, and then they got a game. They got a football, like a real football game, coming up very soon. And then on the other side of that game, our Cowboys crew is going to be out in Oxnard bringing you coverage from Cowboys camp. So just since July 31st, I want to shout out all our newest diehards. Shout out to Roger, Renee, Ryan, Corey, Ross, Luis, Brian, Josh. Shout out to Jim, Brandon, Austin, Jason, Adam, Philip, Sarah, Kaylin, Abdurrahman, and Brandon. Different Brandon. Shout out to each and every one of you for becoming a diehard. And by scanning that QR code underneath my computer, or clicking the link in the description below, or clicking the link in the podcast description, or going to alldls.com/intro, you can sign up to become a diehard. It's $36 right now for the first year. You get a free shirt right when you sign up. Tim already talked in the last segment about some of the articles on the site and a lot of the writing that our beat writers do about their team. But you get other bennies like that free shirt. You get a discount on any other stuff. This is an All-City shirt, if you can believe it. I know you were probably watching this show or listening to the show thinking, man, he sounds like he's got a great shirt on. He looks like he's got a great shirt on. Well, you're right. I do. I got part of the Dallas collection. I'm adorning myself with that attire. You get a free shirt of your choice right when you sign up. We got more than 40 to choose from. You also get a discount on any other gear. You get to join the DLLS Diehard Discord Lounge. A great place to hang out with diehards. Discount on events, discount on merch, and that physical diehard card that you don't have. Or do you have it on your person right now?
I don't have my wallet on my person.
I don't either. I always keep my wallet at my desk, so I can't ever show off my diehard card.
I keep mine in a safe.
Get back soon, KG and Stein, and show that thing off. Take advantage of that sale today.
Welcome back to the DLLS Mavs show, where we are about to bring Tanner back in, I do believe. If that's okay with you, Tanner. Welcome back. Welcome back, Tanner.
Hey, Tanner.
Hey, Tanner.
Hello.
We are going to draft best vacations because it's August 7th, and we've been taking some vacations.
We have.
Some of us have.
We might be taking more.
Certainly, I think that's in the plans.
I got more days.
So we're not drafting best vacation cities because then it would just become what's the best city? I believe you set the rules on this. This was your idea.
Yep.
But are we doing snake order?
Snake style draft. So we did an off-court or off-camera drawing. The order is Tanner, Tim, me, and then I'll pick again. We each get 4 spots. And at the end of this, we're going to have to vote on who's got the best one, or maybe we'll take it to the social meds and let the fans decide. So again, like Tim, like you said, it's not a city, so you can't say New York City. That doesn't count. Throw that in the garbage where it belongs. This is styles of vacation, vibes of vacation, the spirit of the whole operation. Tanner, you're on the clock.
The vacations where your friends do all the planning. So
Ooh.
I enjoy having friends that they make the Excel sheets. They find all the restaurants, make the Google sheets, find the hotels, everything. I just
like a freeloading vacation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
autopilot
for my parts, but like I don't. Whatever they want to do.
That is actually that's a great choice. Honestly,
I wouldn't have thought of that though. Like from a draft strategy, you probably could have hung on to that one. Although maybe not. I mean, it's a great first pick.
That is a great first pick.
We'll see. You never know.
I am going to do a little bit of draft strategy.
Pick,
and even though this might not be my personal number one vacation, it is just objectively a fantastic vacation. If I don't say it, then I think Bobby might take it. I'm going to say beach resort.
Ooh, beach resort?
Yeah.
All inclusive?
Beach resort hotel vacation.
Dang.
I'm going to claim that now because I know, this is a little bit of gamesmanship.
Yeah.
I knew that you were going to claim it if I didn't. And it's it's not even my personal favorite, but I want it on my list.
Yeah.
Because it is a favorite of mine.
Yeah, no, that is great.
And then I've got some deeper cuts coming soon.
Yeah, I got a couple good ones later on. I think now, Tanner, you're going to have to let me know. I think that this is divorced enough from your sentiment to still be its own choice. I'm thinking like going somewhere that isn't here where you're visiting friends, where like you kind of have this like sort of built-in kind of tour guide. Like you got your resource there. Yeah. You're not venturing out into the unknown. You're venturing out into the unknown with someone who knows it, so they can show you the nooks and crannies. You're not having to consult advisors or check Reddit or whatever. Like they got the answers. You're there for you're maybe proposing some things, but like they're showing you around. So I'm going to say
describe this in a few words. I'm also
visiting friends.
Visiting friends.
Yeah, or like friends are hosting you,
being hosted by friends.
Sure. Yeah. Being hosted by friends. I think I'm saving some deep cuts for later. If you guys snipe me, I'm going to be really pissed off. But I think a great vacation is just like a boys' weekend, just hanging with the boys.
I feel like
that's an elite vacation.
I think producer John does that like twice a month.
Yeah, I think the job is his vacation from the boys' weekends.
So, yeah. I feel like
just like cracking open some cold ones with the boys.
One more descriptor to it. Like I need a location, not like a city.
I'm gonna say like a remote, like a
Airbnb?
lake house Airbnb situation with the boys.
Okay.
Yeah, where you're grilling meats.
I would even call it like an Airbnb boys weekend.
Sure,
because Airbnb implies that you're kind of like going somewhere to use that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're grilling, and all else that you need besides some meat and a grill is a bottle opener. Like that's it. You're having a great time. Boys weekend.
So I'm back up, right?
Yes.
I think a lot of these vacations are going to revolve around weekends, understandably.
Yeah.
But I love the big city week.
Ooh.
Weekdays. This can be New York, Chicago, San Francisco, kind of LA. Really those three. A big city, it can be Toronto, Montreal.
Well, you don't just need to list cities.
Oh, I could keep going.
No.
Grand Rapids, Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
But no, it's a big city with public transportation that you're going there. Maybe you're even working a little bit.
Wow.
But there's more fun being had. People there, but it's different than being hosted.
Yeah.
You're not being hosted. You're just going around, seeing friends, doing whatever you want,
among
living
the people as they live their lives. Yeah,
in a very, very leisurely way in a city that isn't your own, that you enjoy spending time.
Yeah,
in.
no, that's a solid choice.
Yeah. Staycation.
Oh my God, I was gonna say that one.
So, yeah,
dude, that's a great pick.
Needed.
I thought that was safe.
Yeah, no, I almost took it number one.
This is a serious oversight on my part.
Dude.
I was close.
And you've got another pick.
That was my deep cut. I actually don't know what I'm going to do. Why do you like staycations?
What's not to like? Sometimes you just want to around and watch Netflix or movies or play video games and have time off from work without, because whenever you go on a trip, like it's fun, but then you get back and well, that was fun, but I'm exhausted. And then you go back to work.
Yeah.
How do you balance the catching up on all the stuff that when you're working, Monday to Friday, with also just like sitting and doing nothing and watching 7 movies in a single day? Do you do it by day, or do you just like give yourself a few hours in the morning, or are you type A enough that you just don't? You're caught up enough? Because anytime I take a staycation, I'm like, oh god, now I got to catch up on all these things that I'm not gonna.
The last time I took a staycation was at my old job, and it was like a week and a half. And I made a whole list of everything I was gonna do, and I think I did. and then besides that, just watch movies. Didn't quite go like I thought it would.
You've got one more pick.
Well, 2 more technically, but one more that you got.
Yeah. One more.
Also,
right. Yeah.
I thought that the sort of shadow on my forehead was just a dead pixel on the TV, but
yeah, I know. We'll fix it. I know this.
Okay.
We'll fix it after the show.
That's actually been there for a while, I think.
It? Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't even hear that.
Moving on.
Right.
Theme parks. It's not really a type vacation.
Theme park. Okay.
I guess it kind of is.
All right.
I know we're not naming cities, but I love going to Universal Studios.
Okay. All right. So like GM Ben territory.
Yeah. Just going to, I'm a big roller coaster, like going to Universal Studios the first time changed my life.
Yeah.
Really. The immersive rides and
Nice.
So I'm back up?
Yeah.
Man.
You got one and then one more, but then I got the wheel. So make it.
I know.
You better do the good one. And you have 3 minutes.
I know.
Oh.
I'm gonna go. Oh. Can I say international?
No.
Is that too big?
Yes.
I can't just go visit yeah, I mean like Europe. Can I say Europe?
Sure.
Okay.
Like backpacking situation, or like you're just going to Europe?
Europe, like a classic Europe tourist destination where you go for a week and you go to 2 major cities.
Europe tourism.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there is something, obviously.
I've also been to Europe one time. It's got to be on my list.
Obviously, just like oh, you're just doing tourism stuff is so like kind of overplayed, but also it is. There's a reason it's successful. It's kind of fun sometimes. So I feel like that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with anywhere north of here. I think literally just anywhere that's north of where we are feels so much better and is just good in general. And that honestly goes for any month of the year, but especially for right now. Like I was in Pennsylvania, New Jersey area over the weekend, and it was like 75 and sunny, and I was like on the verge of tears. At night, it was kind of cold.
Okay.
I was like, I'll never feel that again. It'll be 3 months before I feel that way. And then I think for the last one, now that I'm, I'm free from the shackles of not being able to gamble on basketball, and I have a little extra spending money to be able to do what I want with. I think Vegas is back. I think Vegas is back for me.
We're not naming cities.
I think
Vegas,
that
one's distinct.
Vegas is distinct because it's
the only. I mean, say international, but we can. Say,
well, yeah, but Vegas is the one place you can go to gamble, and it's kind of like Vegas is its own like universe.
Someone hasn't been to Oklahoma.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, my bad. But like Vegas, I feel like is its own category of vacation.
I would agree.
I'll let pass just because we're.
You can say gambling weekend, I guess. But I think no, Vegas is very specific.
Yeah,
anyway,
Vegas is restaurants.
I'm playing the rest of the game in protest.
I'm gonna go like hiking cabin, not camping. I'm not a camper.
I'm not a camper either.
We're not talking glamping either. Like a nice cabin to stay in that has all of the modern,
like a national park kind of Airbnb situation.
Exactly. And so I honestly I would have said Lake House. But I think you covered that with Boys Weekend.
Yeah.
So so you're touching the outdoors. You're near the outdoors. You're very close. But you also still have modern luxuries.
Yeah.
Tanner, last pick.
Yeah, I have to go quick. Road trips. I love road trip vacation. Not big on flying. I'll do it, but I think some of my favorite vacation memories come on the actual driving to the destination.
Yeah.
Friends or family.
Yeah, there was one summer I drove with friends to Colorado 2 different times for 2 different things. And it was like those, I mean, you spend a hell of a lot of time in a car, but like it is magical.
Yeah.
Man,
it's fun.
Nobody said SeaWorld. Kevin is just so upset.
Is that where
now.
Kevin is right now?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So briefly, and
he's
then
not in chat.
Then we're gonna get out of here. Tanner's 4 vacations you don't have to play in, staycations, theme parks, road trips. Honestly, really strong 4.
Yeah.
My 4: beach resort hotel, week in the big city, like weekdays in the big city, Europe tourism, and hiking cabin. And Bobby had being hosted by friends, Airbnb boys weekend or lake house, anywhere north of here, in Vegas weekend. Strong 4s. Strong 4s.
I think
Let
I
us know in
lost
the comments.
draft. I'm not gonna lie.
Let us
I
know in the
lost
comments.
Staycation was like my ringer. I was so excited to get that 3rd round.
Let us know in the comments who won. And we're going to be back next week. I'm Tim Cato. We've got Bobby Corolla, Tanner.
We'll be back tomorrow. But
That's Pokemon Go,
yeah.
I should have said that as a vacation.
Thursday.
I have literally done that before, and I will do it again.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow on Friday. We'll see you then.
We all silly like the mayor.